What's going on, everybody? Another day here, kind of going slow outside. It's very windy, so it didn't get much done today. What we did do is did an oil change. Did an oil change to the E36. Got a fresh filter and some fresh oil in there. And what we did do is we got our right-hand drive specific M3 mirrors in, and we got a little paint sprayed down on them as well. So went down to our local paint shop and got the paint put in a can and two-part clear, wherever the hell that is. Where is it? Let's see. Here is the paint. SEM high build custom fill in Cosmos black BMW. And where's that special clear at? Here it is. Now this clear really is good clear. I love this clear, but since it's two-part, you can only use it for 24 hours. Now I have almost a full can that I'm not gonna be able to use for nothing. Shame. I was planning on doing this with a couple other projects so I could use it for stuff, but I was being impatient. I wanted my mirrors painted. Now I'm gonna let them sit for a couple days without touching them so they cure nice and hard, and so don't get any damage or fingerprints or anything. And hopefully the Cosmos match is pretty good. I just waxed it up today too. Even though it's ceramic coated, I still just like waxing it. Came out pretty darn good, you know, considering it's black. Came out very well. But yeah, that's about it for today. Not doing nothing crazy, just a little bit of maintenance. So we're sitting here, we got the mirrors installed. Got the M mirrors on, the right-hand drive specific M mirrors. They are a little bit darker. I'm not really feeling it right now. I'm kind of pissed because it all was paint coated to it. But you know how that is. You can never just get your paint coat and have it be perfect. So they're slightly darker, and it is going to aggravate the fucking shit out of me. So tomorrow I am bringing the car to a body shop, and I am having them look at a couple different things on it because I want it perfect. I want this whole car perfect. So I'm gonna get a quote on a couple things to clean it up, including the mirrors. See what happens. I wish we knew someone that wrapped, like someone in our friends group that wrapped cars, because I don't want to go all out with the E90, but I would love to wrap that in Dakar yellow, especially with the works that we're gonna get over the winter. Have this car be Dakar yellow. It'd be just tits on ice. It'd be fucking awesome. And I think that's what's gonna end up happening. I'm probably gonna find someone to wrap it. If any of my followers know how to wrap cars and they're actually good, I don't want no shanty ass wrap job. I mean, I don't mind paying, but I don't want to pay $3 grand to wrap a fucking car. I just feel like I just feel like it's too much, you know, for a big fucking sticker. But you know, see what happens. Options. Now that I decided to keep the E90, I do want to do a different color, keep it OEM BMW. And yellow, I think, is the name of the game, especially with a nice set of 19-inch Meister on there. I'm gonna do like 19 by 11, 19 by 9.5 in the front. And yeah, so next year, that's gonna be the summertime cruiser. And this is gonna be S50 Ford. I actually have been getting a little parts list together. So far, we are still looking for an engine, but we are going to run it. We're gonna do keep it on stock management, but we're gonna convert it to the CSL map so we can run open stacks for the ITBs. And obviously gonna have to tune it on that. It's called like an H bridge they do to the ECU, so they modify the ECU. I found a couple companies that are willing to do that and load the CSL map software into the DME, and then you could tune it from there using a map-based system instead of a mass airflow. So we're going to do that and get a nice set of cams in there. I don't know if we're gonna go with like cat cams. We're looking at cat cams. They're pretty reasonably priced, so see what we can find there. But yeah, it's definitely gonna get cammed, and it's gonna be open ITB with a nice set of headers. We gotta figure out the header situation too, being right-hand drive and having the steering column right there. So just gonna wing it and see how it happens, see how it works. Obviously, we're not gonna be able to use stock US headers because they have the cats in them. We don't want to use those anyways. So see what we're gonna do for headers. Maybe start with a cheap set, and if we have to cut them up and add and subtract and whatnot, or use a good set. Maybe a set of like Super Sprints might just fit right in. Maybe some right-hand drive specific E36 headers might work. We don't know yet. So see what's gonna happen there. But yeah, for mounts, I think I'm gonna use either the BMW Group N mounts, which are a hard rubber, or 034 Motorsports makes a solid rubber mount that's very similar to the Group N mounts for like way cheaper too. It's like $100 a mount or $85 a mount. So I think we're gonna do that. We're not running poly. We're gonna run, you know, harder rubber, so it's somewhat comfortable, because I really like the mount setup I have set in there now, which is OEM M3 in the front and E21 solid rubber trans with the AKG aluminum enforcers around them. Stiffens it up a bit, but not too much. And Dagnell's over here playing with himself.
On the phone with Donald.
Burning. He's got the power of the fucking sun on him.
The sun is here.
He's lounging. And who's on the phone? Who the fuck's on the phone? Who's that?
I couldn't find the song.
Oh man, I thought you were on 3%.
I am, look.
Oh, Donald's about to die.
2%.
You're about to die.
I'm gonna die.
He's gonna die.
I'm on 2%, D.
He's on 2%, D.
I couldn't find it.
He's sitting inside. Oh my God, 148 degrees right here. He's burning. He's a fucking reptile. He's the reptile man. He's a fucking reptile, guys. That's why he could thread bolts and fucking figure things out. There's math. You ever see that meme with the math fucking all above his head? That's
Yeah,
Dagnell.
My brain.
It's because he's a fucking reptile.
All scrambled.
We changed it up a little bit in the shop, if you guys haven't noticed. I came in here one day and Dagnell was moving everything around. Now we got shelves over here, and we got my bench over here. It's pretty good though. I still haven't put all these bikes away from showing you guys them. Fucking tripping over them now. One of these days we'll get this Aprilia RS1000 running. I kind of lost interest in it. It's sitting there. We'll pull the CR5 out too, but it's fucking cold now. We got the Advans chilling back there. Those are going to be up for sale if anybody wants some 19x10, 19x9, 5x120 Advan RZDFs. Brand new rubbers, brand new fucking powder coat on them. I put them on the car once, didn't even fucking go a mile, and I just really wasn't feeling it. I wanted 3-piece wheels, so I wasted like 3,200 bucks, but I'll sell them for cheaper than that. First person that gives me 2,200 bucks, I'll take $1,000 loss and fucking sell them. So I've literally did not roll 2 feet with them. I put them on the car and I took them off. I think it's about a wrap for tonight. See what happens.
That's why I want to listen.
Well, that's what I thought. Oh, we hung up after showing you guys, we hung up a bike right there too. I really like that bike, so now it's hung up. So I realized we don't really have any in-car footage of driving the E36 after the manual swap. I know it's kind of dark. I'm on my way home, but figured maybe talk a little bit about it. You know, the car's driving awesome. The clutch is just about broken in now. Got about 500 miles on the clutch setup with the steel lightweight flywheel and the sprung stage 1 or stage 2 clutch, whatever it was. And it feels great. It grabs nice. It's not too heavy. There's no chatter whatsoever, even with the lightweight flywheel. I have no complaints whatsoever with the clutch. Feels wonderful. And we got those brand new OEM pedals with the Delrin bushings in there. Feel great as well. No, doesn't really have any squeaks. You know, they're nice and tight because they're OEM. We used grip tape as instead of covers, and the grip tape feels awesome. Highly recommend that little mod. You know, cheap, easy thing to do, and yeah, it's awesome. But shifting wise, feels great. You know, and for, you know, a little 2.5, she runs really well. And anybody that said, you know, a couple people said, there ain't no way you're pulling any power out of that 2.5 with just the M50 manifold and the twin pipe exhaust setup. You know, it's unheard of. First off, go on the forums. You know, it's very well documented that BMW detuned the 2.5 M52 in the 323s, so it wasn't close to the 328 power numbers. And doing a twin pipe exhaust really wakes them up. Noticeable difference. Granted, we have a manual transmission in here now, so you can feel it a lot better. But I'm telling you right now, this thing was a slug before. And not that it's fast by any means, but she pulls pretty nice. She pulls pretty nice. I'd really like to see what it would do with a set of S52 cams in it. If they weren't friggin' $1,000, fucking crazy for a set of used S52 cams. They used to be $200-300 bucks. If I could find a set for even 500, I'd throw it in here just for an experiment, see how they run. You know, see how it pulls. But it's not worth it because we're doing the S54 in here. And other people saying, why are you starting with a 323? Why are you starting with this, that? Listen, I've had 7 or 8 US spec E36 M3s, and they're all hammered. They're all fucking beat on. Unless you want to spend 30-40 grand on one these days, they're all fucking beat. And I have a low mile one. I have the low mile slick top, and guess what? It's been fucking used its whole life. You know, they're used. I started this car, all I wanted was a great shell, and I have no complaints. This shell is in beautiful shape. Had right around 70,000 miles on it. It's showing up now. It's showing 130,000. That's in kilometers though, don't forget. And I've driven it a bit, and it was an automatic, so this thing led an easy life. You know, there was no accident damage on it. There's no fucking Bondo. There's no rust. There's no replacement panels on it. The car is fucking beautiful, and it happened to be a right-hand drive shell. Even cooler. It didn't matter to me, but and now for the fact that it's right-hand drive, it's even cooler to me. So fuck it. You know, it's getting an S54. It's getting cams. We're gonna go over the whole S54 when we get it. We're gonna do bearings in it. We're gonna reseal the whole thing. You know, we're gonna refresh it. I'm gonna look for the lowest mile one I can get my hands on, and yeah, we're gonna go from there. We're gonna do open stack ITBs. They already said that they can do a right-hand drive conversion harness to make it plug and play. That way I don't gotta dick around with the wiring. And the fact that this car is right-hand drive, the E36 M3 ECU sits on the left side of the car. So usually when you do an S54 swap on an E36, you have to flip the harness over because your ECU pocket is on the right side of the car. Being that this is right-hand drive and my ECU pocket's on the left side, it makes it a little bit easier. So I'm assuming that's going to come into play. That way I don't gotta flip the E46 harness around. I'm sure I'm gonna have to still extend some stuff, but hopefully it makes it a little easier so I can run the DME and right on the left side where it's supposed to be, just like the E46. I already have every M suspension part you could buy. I essentially went to a part out and I bought every drivetrain piece I could buy. I have an M3 diff. I want to keep my ring and pinion gear because I have 364s in here, which is Euro only. So I do want to, I'm going to rebuild the diff to have at least 40% lockup with an extra plate and just rebuild it with new springs. So I'm going to have a rebuilt LSD. I got the M3 axle stubs. I got 2 M3 axles, M3 trailing arms, M3 front control arms, 96 plus, M3 96 plus front spindles, M3 brakes all the way around. I can't do the rack because I'm right-hand drive. My rack is perfect. So I don't have an M3 rack. I'm not too sure that this one's any different than an M3 rack, to be honest. See, the only difference is because it's a Euro car and it's a 96 plus, I'm not going to have an equivalent large case diff like a 96 plus Euro M3. Unfortunately, going to have a medium case diff, which will be just fine. You know, maybe in the future, if I could find a subframe for a large case diff, I'll try and run like an E36 M3 diff. But for now, we're gonna run a medium case diff, E36 M3 US spec diff with, you know, with the 364 gearing and full M suspension. And I'll be redoing everything, powder coating, stripping, powder coating, and running all new, either harder rubber, polyurethane bushings and everything. And, you know, essentially just everything's gonna be brand new. So I'm building the car to my specs. Not to mention I bought all the reinforcement plates that the M's run. So I got the factory BMW plates that go underneath the subframe for the rear. I bought the Condor ones for the front. I got the Condor pockets for the R-tabs. I got the Condor rear sway bar mounts, that whole setup. You know, I bought pretty much everything I can to bulletproof this car. You know, I'm buy once, cry once. So fuck it, I'm spending the money and I'm building it right, and I'm building it the way I want it. I was originally planning on going 420G with the transmission, but since I already did the ZF swap, I'm probably just gonna stay ZF for the time being, unless I get a great deal on a 420G. I already have an auto drive shaft, so I mean I could just keep that drive shaft. But I mean, I just rebuilt this drive shaft with a new bearing and you know, a new center support and a new guibo. But we'll see what happens. See what happens when I buy the motor, if it comes with a tranny or not. If it comes with a tranny, I'll use one. Even if it comes with an SMG tranny, I can convert it. I'm not too worried about it. I'll get the bell housing machined. It's only like 500 bucks. But yeah, I'm stoked on going S54 with this. Most times people run the S54 setup, they run the Euro coolant overflow reservoir. Being that I'm right-hand drive, that's usually where they put it, right where my brake booster is. So I'm going to, I don't know where I'm going to put it, because if I put it on the other side, that's where all my electronics are. It's where my fuse panel is, my fuse box. So I would have to figure out a way where I'm going to run the coolant reservoir. Not a big deal. I'm sure I can figure something out, but just something to think about. And those are driving thoughts. Figure I'd fill you in while I was driving. See what happens. Well, that should be it. Nice and dark for you guys. Like, comment, and subscribe. Let's grow this thing. See you guys later. Peace.